Hey guys, Elite Eclipse here, and welcome back to another episode of IsoCraft. We are starting this episode down here at our double cave spider spawner because I have been doing a lot of work in between episodes. All of my gear is now made up. I have multiple gear for stuff, and everything has mending on it. I spend a lot of time getting a bunch of different mending books and farming sugarcane, and I spent a lot of time here, and all 4 of these chests are full of spider eyes, and I've compressed all the string down that we had in here and more that I got into wool because I have no idea what else to do with all of that string. So I'm thinking that I might want to make like a sort of like color shop as like my first shop, and then I can sell like dyes, and then I can sell like colored wool and stuff like that. So for the wool, obviously it'll be easier to do like a sheep farm or something later on, but to start off we can do dyes and stuff like this. But we're gonna need a couple of farms to do some of the dyes. So some of the basic easy ones that we can get from flowers are super easy because we can just make like a flower farm that gets us all the dyes that we need. But there are other ones like black. We're gonna have to make like a squid farm or something like that, and green, I think we need to make a cactus farm to get green. And yeah, there's a bunch of different farms, so that'll be a thing to do over the next few episodes. But today I think I want to get the shop built up. But first we have a few projects to do. But before we get into those projects, I want to show you a bit of the stuff that I've done in between episodes. I have a bunch of different books here, just from some random enchanting and stuff. But we have these over here, which are more diamond shovels that I'm working on getting all built up. And we need like mending on these two, and then we'll be good. But these two both have Silk Touch, Unbreaking 3, Efficiency 4, and Mending. So Efficiency 5, I don't know if you really need Efficiency 5 on a shovel, because Efficiency 4 insta-mines everything. And then I also got this super bow from Villager Shop. It was only like 10 diamonds, he said. I contacted him and he said 10 diamonds, so I put 10 diamonds in there. And I think we have an infinity bow. Yes, we do. And so if we go ahead and we can put this infinity on the super bow, and there we go. Now we have a super bow that's really good, and I don't really need it, so for now it's just gonna hold it sideways apparently. Can I like shift you so you're not holding the bow sideways, because it's not a crossbow. But we have a bunch of different stuff here, and I'm thinking that we can go ahead and work on our mega base first, which I probably won't need another one of the U4, and I will probably end up being able to finish. I want to see if I can clear out all of the dirt layer in this episode, in this first time lapse. So over here at the mega base area, in the last episode we got a fourth of it, like this first like little quadrant of the circle done. And I think in this first time lapse we should take out all of the rest of the dirt in this circle, so that way this entire like circle right here is gray. So that'll be the first time lapse that we do. So let's get Elite Eclipse 2 on here to record that, and let's get into it. Well guys, we cleared it all out, and can I just say that I think I underestimated the size of this hole. This it did not feel this big when I just had like the ring going around it, but like after like mining it all out and stuff, this place feels much bigger than I initially thought. And we have to take this all the way down to Bedrock, and I'm planning on having multiple of these. So I don't know, we'll see how that works out. But we have all of these resources, so this entire row up to here is all dirt, all these chests are full. And then we have grass here, then to this one is grass, and then this is just random stuff that I've gotten, and then that's the wood. And then we got this much gravel from it, and this is just another chest for gravel in case I got more, but I didn't get that much. But this map has not been updated yet. I want to update this map and see how this looks now. So if I look at this, it should, there we go, refresh. And now that looks pretty cool. And that's going to go all the way down to Bedrock, and we're going to put like farms and stuff. I think this one's going to have a bunch of industrial farms in it, and you know, I might be able to fit like a mob farm sort of thing in the middle. Like I could just put like a creeper farm in the middle of this thing going all the way down to Bedrock, and then put like sugarcane farms and like bamboo farms and like cactus farms and pumpkin and melon farms and just like a bunch of farms around it on like the sides, because like all those farms can be stacked up vertically. And like the creeper farm could be like right in the middle, or just an all mob farm, or like any kind of farm. It doesn't really matter. Or I could just put like a storage system in the middle, but it doesn't really matter right now. So now what I want to do is I want to start getting prepared for us to have that shop. And I think it would be a great idea to have like a color shop. And for now we can sell like wool and stuff, and later on we can sell like terracotta and concrete and all that kind of stuff. But in order to do that, we're gonna need like colors. So I should probably make some sort of like flower farm stuff. And there is a cool thing on Bedrock Edition with flowers that if you have a flower, you can like bone meal that flower and it makes more of them. So what we need to do is we just need to go around and we need to collect like one of every flower that can like be turned into a color, and then we can get it. And I would prefer to have two tall flowers like the peonies and sunflowers, because if you bone meal them, they just turn straight into the flower, so we don't have to like break the flowers. It'll just automatically like fall into a hopper or something. So and they give you two dyes per flower, so it's just more efficient in my opinion. So we already have quite a few flowers over here, so I just kind of want to go and see if we can collect like one of every flower. So I now have this all laid out with all 9 of the different flower dyes, the different colors that we can get from flowers, with 9 of the flowers. There are other flowers that you can get, like the poppy and red tulips and white tulips and pink tulips and the azure bluettes or whatever they're called. But they'll give you like repeats of these colors, so we don't need them. So with these 9 flowers, they each individually give us these 9 different dyes, and then we can combine the red and blue to get the purple. So this covers 10 of the 16 different colors of dye that we can get. If we get green, then we can then make cyan and lime dye, so that will be another 2 of them. And I don't know, I think if we get black, I don't know if we get any others from black, because we already have light gray. So I just looked it up. With the black dye, we will then be able to have black dye and gray dye. So that'll give us those. And then with the cactus farm, we'll have green, cyan, and lime dye. And then I think the only one we need left after that is brown, which we'll need cocoa beans for. I believe that's the only way to get brown dye. So we'll have to find a jungle and get cocoa beans, but the other 2 we can make a farm of. So now I would like to start on building a squid farm and possibly a like smallish temporary cactus farm. So that way we can get a bunch of green. I have been harvesting cactus, as you can see by that out there. I've been harvesting cactus for quite a while. I'll throw this into my smelter, which is now done with glass. It's been smelting this for a few days, just whenever I'm over here. So I'll go ahead and throw a bunch of this into there, and actually all of it. And now we should get to work on building a squid farm. I'm just going to throw all of the dyes and the flowers into this chest for now, and we can worry about those later. Those are super easy farms to set up. But I do have a bunch of stuff here, some magma blocks, which I actually might not need these. I have a different idea for a squid farm that uses a little less resources. But I'll take some of this anyway, and I'll need the glass too, and a few other stuff. Let me get this stuff prepared and we can go do it. Okay, I got some stuff. I think I will need some more stuff than this, and I probably don't need this much glass, or probably not even this much of stone bricks. But I should be good, and actually I need a few buckets too for water, because you kind of can't make a squid farm without water. And now we just have to head to an ocean, which I think there's one kind of far this way, and I would prefer to go to one that has not been loaded, so that way like the squids spawn more often and stuff. So this right here is ocean, obviously, but I don't know if it has been loaded before. So like there are some squids there and there are some fish here, but I would prefer to not have to like put down a bunch of slabs on the bottom of the ocean. So I want to like build it kind of high up in the sky, but I'll have to like build up and then over. And I don't know if I have like enough dirt for this, but I have to go like more than 50 blocks up in order to be out of spawning range of this, and then I can go over to like unloaded area. So I used a stack to get up here, so this should be high enough where squid can't spawn. So now if I just go over here quite a ways, hopefully this isn't loaded, and so hopefully it won't cause problems. And I don't have an elytra yet, so I can't fall off, otherwise it'll like ruin the whole thing, because squid will spawn down there and they won't spawn up here, and you know, all that kind of stuff. And I just realized I forgot to put water in my buckets, so I have like 2 empty buckets. So I'll have to go back down, but I will need to make like ladders or something to go up there, and this is not going to look pretty. This is probably just going to be a temporary smallish one, but I do want to see if this works. So let me get like a design sort of built up, and then I'll go back down and get water and we can test it. So this is kind of just like a test. It doesn't have to be like the final build of it or like a final design. I just kind of want to test to make sure and see if this works. Okay, squid can spawn here. That's fantastic. It's just kind of slow, but I think that might just be because it's really small. So if I like scale this up and build like a really big one, and I think I did, there were some drowns spawning during the nighttime, but I did get a trident, so I could make a trident killer, and then I'd be able to get like the looting effect on it and stuff. But this should work. So if I block this up and I like maybe tear this down or something, or I could use this, I'll just use this as like a platform, and then I'll build the actual one just above this, and I'll scale it up quite a bit, so that way we can get a lot more to spawn in here. And I'm kind of debating, do I want to build this in like a time lapse, or do I not want to do that? I don't know if it'd be too much work to do that, or it's probably kind of boring. It's just like a bunch of water streams, so I'll probably just do it in progress updates, or if nothing interesting happens at all or anything, I'll just build it and it'll show back up, because it's really not that interesting. And there we go. This is the squid farm, I guess is what we're calling it. I think it looks pretty awesome, but I'm not seeing too many squid, so I don't know how well this will work. But there's a lot of fish and dolphins down there, and the fish should stop spawning, like no more should spawn, because I should be too far away. And the dolphins are just like really avoiding going in that hole, and so are the fish that are still there. I think drowns can still spawn in the spots that aren't lit up, so I need some more torches on there. But other than that, it should be completely done, and if I just sit up here, I should end up getting some squid to spawn and fall down there. And I haven't been up here very long. I like just got up here, so there's like not much. There's like a lot of fish. I'm gonna get a lot of fish from this. But there's a trident killer down there. But I think dolphins should be able to spawn in this, and it's pretty big, so it should spawn more often. It might be like extremely inefficient just because that might be loaded down there, but I'm not sure if that's loaded or not, so that could end up causing a problem. But it should hopefully spawn at least some squid. Like if I just go AFK here like overnight, I should end up getting some squid at least. and let's go down and check it. So this is all the stuff that we've gotten. The 6 ink sacs were in there before. Ooh, and this is a good source of bones too. I didn't think about that. So we can get bones from this that we can put into our flower farm that we're going to make earlier for more flowers. So this will be good anyway. And I suppose if we leave it for drowns, we can get some tridents in there. And okay, the trident I ended up messing up a little bit earlier. But now, tons of bones, hopefully some ink sacs so we can get black. And I'll just like AFK here overnight at some point, probably tonight. I'm still planning on building a flower farm in this episode, but it's getting pretty late, so I probably want to go to sleep, and I can do that in the morning. But I think if I AFK up here, yeah, there's squid. I think if I'm up here, fish can't spawn, so I should get less fish and just get the squids and dolphins, and just get tons of ink sacs. So I'm just gonna AFK here from now until like the morning, or until when I start recording again. And actually, I'm gonna light it up and then I'll do that, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. Well, I would say that is pretty decent, guys. I mean, I definitely lost a lot. We have a lot of bones and a lot of fish now, and like some drowns died and stuff, so I have like quite a few tridents. But I was AFK up there for like 9 hours, and I know for a fact that I lost a lot of stuff because I came back down and checked it after like 1 hour, and this thing was entirely full. So like after like an hour, everything else just despawned. So this is really only like 2 hours of AFK stuff. So I need to get this into like a water stream and then into like a sorting system or whatever. So this will actually be, so I'll actually be able to use this over like long-term AFK sessions. But it works. We know it works, and that's good for now. We can throw this stuff into like a furnace or something, and we'll get like cooked cod, and it'll like give us XP, so we can use it to make like an XP bank or something. And we can use these bones to help power our flower farm, which is what we are going to make next. Before we go and like build where like the actual flower farms are gonna go, I just want to like try this out to make sure that this is going to work this way. So it should work that if I like put a comparator on here, so that way whenever there's stuff in this, it automatically detects and activates the dispenser. So this should work, that when I put a comparator here and something's in it, it should automatically detect and activate it. So if I throw like a sticky piston in there, yeah, it gets shot out. So if I throw a minecart down here, and this sides will be like blocked off with like glass so we can see in there. But if I throw a little bit of bone meal in there, it should be activated and make those pop off. And yeah, the sides will be blocked by glass. But it should work that if I come up here and I throw like the rose bushes up here, they should be pulled through into this. Yes, so this will work for the 2 tall ones. So it's like super easy, super small, compact little design. The one for single flower designs are a little bit bigger and more complicated. So what this should do is push the flower back and forth, which will break any flowers that are on it. But if I place a flower here and put a little bone meal in here, it should... Oh, I completely got rid of that system. I gotta rebuild this over here. There, so now if I put a little bit of bone meal in here, it should... Okay, so this clock is too fast because it's moving so fast that flowers can't even be spawned on top of it. So I need to make this a little bit longer. There, hopefully this amount of delay is long enough. I can make this easier with like a hopper clock or something, but for now I'm just using this for testing to make sure that the idea works. And then after that, we can go ahead and make it more compact and more friendly towards the way I want to use it. Okay, I think I figured out the problem, and I think it was because this needed to be grass up here, not dirt. So if I try throwing some in there now, yes. Okay, it does work. It just needs like more. Like I might need more delay, but so if I throw like 15 in here, okay, it does work. It's just not the best. I might need to make this a little bit bigger or something, or, ooh, wait, I have another idea. So this way, I think might work a little bit better. It's a little bit more complicated because of there has to be like a redstone clock because I can't take like a comparator output of this dispenser. But hopefully if I put some of you in there, which it's gonna try and use, but it can't, so it's just not gonna use any. If I activate this, and then when I throw a flower down up here, will it work better? And the answer is no. So I make this thing a decently size bigger, and it does appear to work a lot more often. Like it works a lot better. So we might have to do it with this size. The only problem is the bigger I make it, the more pistons that I have to use, but it's only 8 pistons for this one. And then I'll have to get like the collection system because I'll have to have a minecart that goes underneath it, which is not ideal, and I don't think that the floors moving is going to make it fall through, if I remember correctly. Like if I throw you up there, it's just going to get pushed back and forth. Yeah. So I'm going to have to put some minecarts underneath it and like some collection system. So this is probably going to take quite a few resources. So let me go get set up, and I can set up like the smaller ones first with the rose bushes and like the 2 tall flowers. And then we can work on building some of these. So it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but it is temporary. Well, at least I'm going to say it's temporary. I'll probably end up using it for a while before I build like a new one or something, but it's done. Well, the 2 tall flower ones are, if I turn this on, each one has a stack of bone meal in it. So if I turn on the dispenser, yep, flowers should just start popping off and they just fill the chests. And this does go through bone meal pretty fast because why wouldn't it? It's already used half a stack of bone meal. So this probably isn't going to be like it's really good for these ones because each flower gives 2. So that's like super easy, super good, and it doesn't take much effort. And I have a lot of bones from that thing, like over a double chest. But there we go. There's a stack of bone meal in each, and now there's a stack of flowers. So 1 bone meal turns into 2 dye for the 2 tall flowers. Now we have to build the same things, well, not the same things, a different design for the other 5 flowers. This has to be one of the ugliest things that I have ever built, and I'm not a very good builder, so that's kind of saying something. But I also decided against building 5 of these because this was like too much effort for something that I could easily just switch the flower if I need the other dye. So this is it, basically. I'm not gonna bother about decorating it and stuff because that takes a lot of effort and stuff, and this is probably not going to be seen or used that much because I'm moving over there at some point, and this is behind a hill. But anyway, if I just put some of this bone meal in here and then I flip this lever, that'll have that activate every time that the piston's pushed to the one side, so that way it does that. And there is a hopper minecart running underneath it, picking up all those, and it is now run out of bone meal. So when the hopper minecart comes back this way, there we go, it'll put a bunch of the flowers in there, and there's probably more. I probably need to add some more hoppers down there, so that way it pulls it out faster and stuff, but it works. Yeah, there's still more in there, so I need to add a few more hoppers, but other than that, it's done, and I can just put different flowers in there and get any kind of dye that I need. But anyway guys, that's going to be it for this episode. In between episodes, I'm going to do some more AFKing at the squid farm, and I'm going to get a lot of flowers and stuff over here, and we're going to get a bunch of different colors that we need. And then in the next episode, we will build up a like temporary cactus farm so we can get green dye, because that's the last dye that we need, that I believe. And we will build our shop, which I have an idea for it. It might not be the best idea for a shop, but you know, when are any of my ideas the best ideas? So that's going to be it for this episode. If you guys liked the video, make sure you hit the like button down below. If you really enjoyed it, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!